tuned in to the Devil's Mic with your hosts, Johnny Zapata, Moses, and Gabe Walker.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Devil's Mic. This your boy, Johnny Zapata, and as always, I'm here with my boys.
Mo Sanchez, what's up?
Gabe Walker, what's up?
Gabe Stuff My Face Walker, that boy with the sandwich game, bologna and cheese. I see you.
Nah, dude, it was some sour cream and onion chips. What you talking about?
Oh.
That HEB brand.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. Any sour cream and
Yeah.
onion chips go off. Not even gonna lie. Pringles, Lay's, HEB, Walmart, whatever.
You fuck with sour cream and cheddar?
Yeah, cheddar sour cream. Them little orange
I
chips.
don't think I've had that, but it sounds amazing.
You should try them out, especially them Ridges, them Lay's Ridges. Dude, you can't
Oh
go
my
wrong.
god.
Right? Smack. But yeah, so today we're trying something different. Whoever's tuning in right now, we're live on Facebook. We've been live for a few minutes, so it's kind of lagging, but we'll
Sorry
get
for the
through it.
awkwardness. Apologize.
We were just talking, dude. We fired
was
Gabe,
awkward.
but we hired him back. So welcome back, Gabe. So how do I join? You're out. No, just kidding. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started, guys. So today we're just going to talk about some new music that's come out. We're going to touch on one of the big things, how everybody's been doing during the pandemic for this past month since we last talked. Not only us, but just the music scene in general, and the state of the world is in today. We're not going to go anything political as always because we stay away from that. So we're just going to talk about how it's affected a lot of musicians and where we go from here. So as always, you already know we get started with some shout outs. I'm going to give a free plug though. I'm going to give a free plug, guys. I'm going to shout out Zoom over here helping us with these quarantine streams, these quarantine podcasts. So
They probably started the virus.
Yeah, you said they started the virus.
They did this so they could jumpstart their
Yeah.
app.
Company.
They're like, we're not doing so well, guys. Let's make our stock go up. What can we do? Okay, pandemic.
Everybody's talking about FaceTime. Nobody knows about us, so I'm gonna make this coronavirus, and everybody's gonna use us. Because the first time I heard about this was actually through work. Our CEO was all like, "Oh yeah, so I streamed with I connected with my family through Zoom." And I'm like, "Dude, you don't got FaceTime?" Like, so I'm like, "Dude, you already know about Zoom." So all them higher ups are like, "Yeah, we got to push this out." So whatever sales they get money off of this. So no, I'm just kidding. That's a total lie. But yeah, shout out Zoom. Shout out all the essential workers. Hey, we still out here making the world run. You already know what it is. So
With no hazard pay.
yeah,
Right.
no hazard pay. So we're lucky enough. Me and Dan. Well, Dan's gonna go back in on Monday, but
Yeah.
it got me at home working from home. So it's been kind of cool. It has it.
So going
has
to the
its
office,
perks.
risking my life.
Dude, yeah, but good thing about it is bathroom's just right next to me, so I'm not worried about walking across the building just to go take a piss. But yeah, those are my shout outs today. Free plug to Zoom, not a sponsor. Sponsor us. But yeah, go ahead, Mose.
Shout out Final Fantasy VII Remake. Taking my time. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Nice.
Square Enix.
Don't Stress About Flower Press, Matthew Klein. Yesterday he was like, "Hey man, anybody want to trade some band merch for some cookies?" Because he's working at Tips Treats. So I went and picked up some chocolate pecan cookies and traded it for a 7-inch vinyl, and then ended up walking away with a 12-inch vinyl for Carnier and Fleshborn, and then also a 7-inch vinyl for Binary for $10. So I mean that's
Damn. That's not bad.
that's pretty good for $10. Also Dead Armadillo Records, because they have really, really good like limited pressings that they resell for like a very affordable price, and they're all on Instagram. So
What was that again?
Dead Armadillo Records.
Dead Armadillo Records.
Yeah,
That's a
based
good
out of
plug
San
right there.
Antonio.
Out of San Antonio? Ooh, say
Mhm.
less. So follow them on social media. Do what you got to do. And I think I'm going to check it out myself, see what they got. See what kind of reps they got.
Oh, dude, they got everything from like metal to post-hardcore to screamo to metalcore and hardcore. So I mean, it's really, really good stuff.
Sick.
And they're doing a giveaway right now too. So.
Oh, shoot. So hop on that giveaway, y'all. You know, it's always good to get some free stuff. And one last shout out before we get on. Huge shout out to all the bands still out there putting out content, releasing records, especially the ones that aren't holding off records due to the pandemic. It's good to see people, you know, these bands put out content for their fans, some new to get everybody, you know, get everybody's mind off everything, especially people going through the struggle, you know, say people out of jobs, things of that nature. So it's good to get your mind off of it and find an outlet. So huge shout out to those guys. And yeah, it's tough out there, you know. We'll talk about that here in a minute though. So let's go ahead and hop into some new music. I want to screw it. Let's start it. Let's start off hard and strong. The Ghost in MF Inside, bro. The Ghost in that. Oh my God. I've been listening to that song. I probably listened to it at least 30 times. Like I told Moses told me the other day. He's like 20 times. Oh, shout out that boy Scout. Nah, just kidding. What's your dog's name?
That Piper. Sorry, she came in here because she heard you talking, so she had to see what was going on.
He's like, dang, that boy voice sound nice. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, The Ghost Inside, solid song, solid music video. Like it's awesome to see what, you know, from what they've gone through to where they are right now, and to put all of that into a song, even though their new album isn't going to be just strictly based off of that, but just to kind of come back with a strong message is very inspiring. And if you haven't seen the video, I would recommend go checking it out. It's tough, man. What'd you think about it, Dan?
Yeah, dude. Like when you told me that they released a new track, I was like, oh, I haven't heard of them in a while. And so I went to listen. I was like, immediately fell in love with that song, man. It's good.
My favorite, what I like most about the song, and what I like about a lot of these metalcore songs, hardcore songs, is that overlying guitar part where, you know, it's just in the background, they're playing them high notes, things like that. That it just adds such a perfect element to their song in general. And it's freaking, I can't get enough of it. It's amazing. What did you check it out, Gabe?
Yeah, I did. It's just really great to see Ghost Inside doing stuff, because I remember when they, I guess they like did that restart tour after one of their members died, and everybody was like nuts about that, and I was like, yo, that's really cool that they're able to, like, you know, keep going and still provide all that hope for people after, you know, having a band member pass. And now that they're dropping new stuff despite the quarantine, and that they've pretty much been quiet since they did that tour, it's really cool to see them back and being like, hey, we got new stuff, hey, we're doing XYZ. So
right. And it's cool that they're not letting what happened to them, you know, keep them from putting out new stuff. Yeah, exactly. Define them. They're, you know, it happened, you know, it's always good to kind of put that in the past, but at the same time, you can't forget about it, which this song kind of defines, you know, them in general. Is it happened, and this is where we're at now as a band, and, you know, going forward, we're just going to rise above it all. Triumph over tragedy. Dude, that part, every time.
Check if I get that as a neck tattoo right here.
Triumph over no regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah. No regrets. But no, and in the video they had that those shots of their where they had that show in California. What was it, like their first show back or whatever? And they had that aerial view of all the people there. I was like, dude, that was ridiculous. Wow. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but big shouts to the Ghost Inside. Freaking very inspiring. And I'm still going to be banging that track till the end of time, because it's solid, dude. Super solid.
It's definitely made it on my repeat playlist on Spotify.
Yeah. I think at the end of the year on my Spotify rewind, there's gonna be a song of the year, Ghost Inside. So big shout to them. Anything else I want to touch on that before we go to the next one?
Again, if y'all haven't checked it out, check it. Aftermath. Listen to their old stuff. Backtrack it. They're a great band.
Yeah, they're solid. Oh, what I was gonna say, I recommend if you're gonna check it out, I'd say check out the video first. Like if you want to listen to the song, go watch the music video first, because it really adds a whole nother element to the background of the song, and gets you in the feels and just makes you feel good at the same time. So check it out on YouTube. All right, next what I want to talk about, or what we want to move on to, is that Testament, dude. So Testament, a lot of people, there's still some people that listen to thrash. It's not really that big, I would say, but this Testament, it's just your good old fashioned thrash, man. I don't know how else to put it. Chuck's still doing his thing. Everybody's still doing their thing in Testament. What I would say, though, my favorite song is Children of the Next Level, which is the first song of the album. And the reason being, and I talked about this when we had John on the show, John Soskowski of Snakefather, shout out. This one's about the Heaven's Gate cult. So Children of the Next Level is just the 39 members of the cult that went to the next level. So the lyrics in the song are very, how you say, like dark, but at the same time they're tough. So like he goes like, break through heaven's gate, freedom from this broken world, this mortal shell they leave, right up to the sky, climb aboard and take a trip to your final destiny. Like, dude, that's ridiculous. And the fact, like, I've been so intrigued by cults. I've been watching Waco on Netflix.
Oh my God.
The videos.
Oh my God. So good. I'm sorry.
Dude,
okay. Anyway.
No, you're good. I just have one more episode. Like, I know what happens, but
what is this on Netflix?
It's called Waco. So it's like a mini.
It's about the Branch Davidians.
Right in Waco. Check it out, dude. It's good, man. So I'm on the last episode. I know what happens because I research these things, but just cults in general, I don't know what it is about them. I think it's just like how they can brainwash these people and to get them to think a certain way and get them to live a certain way to, at the end, and end their lives. It's crazy. And they touch on a lot of stuff in the song about the Heaven's Gate cult. And if you haven't listened to it, I'd recommend going to check it out. It's definitely a sick song. And so basically just a background of the Heaven's Gate cult, if you haven't heard of it. This guy, Marshall Applewhite, and Bonnie Nettles, I believe her name is, way back in the day, started this, this organization, and pretty much got their followers to believe that the earth is going to be recycled. It's going to be recycled, so it's just going to be wiped clean. And I guess kind of like the rapture or whatever, so like everybody's going to die. And the earth is just going to start new. So he basically tells them, like, we need to leave
F1, Corona.
Yeah. Right? What if they weren't wrong? What if they weren't wrong? They're in the next level right now. We're over here everybody's about to be gone. Anyways, where was I at? So they started this and they get everybody to believe that, they have a conscience, which everybody has a conscience or a soul or whatever. And these are just their vehicles. They're human vehicles. And that they need to evacuate these vehicles in order to catch this spaceship they believe is behind the Hale-Bopp comet that was going on back in the 90s. And you want a bar? Okay, hold on. Time out, guys. Time out.
Wow.
Sorry about that. But on a separate note, you can still go to the Branch Davidian compound in Waco. I think me and my buddy Pat and my wife are going to go up there and check it out because they have like certain areas of the Davidian compound are still there. The building completely burnt to the ground, and pretty much the only thing left of the original compound was like this school bus that they buried halfway underground to work as kind of like a shelter for like tornadoes and stuff. And people actually died in that tunnel, and you see it in the TV show. But now that tunnel is flooded, and they said the only way you can get in there is if like you pump it out. But it was like supposed to go into like one of the back cellars of the original Davidian house, but I think from what I understand, that whole tunnel area is like flooded and partially collapsed. So the school bus is still there, and you can see like the tip of it sticking out of the ground. But I think the only time it's like actually viewable for what's inside of it is like during the summer when it's dry, because pretty much the whole rest of the year it's underwater. And then like the little swimming pool / collection pool that they had for the water is still there, and they still like gallon water out of it and all that crap. But pretty much everything else is gone. There's like a single church there now, and the dude that leads the Davidian branch now is somebody who was in the cult when it first started, then left. Then he came back after he saw that David died and was like, I feel bad about this, and he restarted it. And now there's like a memorial wall for all the people who died out there and all this stuff. And it's really crazy, because the little kids that survived that like thing are all like our age now. And some of them actually vividly remembered like talking with David Koresh and, you know, the FBI shooting and the ATF shooting at them and all that stuff. So I don't know. It's crazy stuff, man.
It's super crazy, dude.
I might check it out.
Stuff. Yeah, check it out, man. Anyways, so yeah, these vehicles, our bodies, he was saying our bodies are just human vehicles, and they're trying to catch this spaceship behind the Hale-Bopp comet, and that will take them to the next level, which is heaven, essentially. So he was like, yeah, the only way to escape these bodies is if we pretty much kill ourselves. So 39 people. Go ahead.
Is that the cult that made them all wear like the Air Force Ones or whatever?
Yeah, the Nike shoes. Yeah. So
yeah, they all had to wear the Nikes and wear a certain type of pants, and
yeah,
they all had to like
jumpsuits.
Yeah, and they had to like mutilate their reproductive organs.
The genitals.
Right?
Yeah. It was crazy, dude. So yeah, they're all wearing them Nikes, and yeah, they drank this. I forgot what it was, but it just made them not breathe or have trouble breathing. And then they covered their, like wrapped their head around in some plastic. And then they covered their faces with this purple cloth type thing. And yeah, so they're all on the next level right now, chilling. So I'm pretty sure they're laughing at us because we're over here dealing with COVID-19. So no, I'm just kidding. But no, sick song. You know, like I said, good old fashioned thrash. And you know, Testament, I'm always going to have a thing for Testament, man. Testament, they always put out good stuff. So I don't know if any of y'all checked it out.
To Testament before.
For real?
For real. Like, I've heard of them. I've never went out of my way to listen to them, so I haven't given them a chance.
So what'd you think, though? What'd you think, like, did you listen to this?
No, I haven't yet. So maybe I'll check it out this time around.
Check it out, man. It's like I said, it's just your fast thrash music. Your solos or songs are like 5 minutes, 6 minutes long. You know, I love me some solos, man. So any band that got solos in their music, I'm gonna check it out for sure. Which not a lot of bands do nowadays, which isn't a bad thing. It's just I don't know what it is, but did you check it out, Gabe?
Yeah, I did. I think it's really cool that, you know, that thrash is still relevant, to be completely honest, because there's so many people that are like, oh, you know, metal, blah, blah, blah. And they think it's all like glam metal or the hair metal stuff and whatever. So, I mean, thrash is like one of the few forms of metal that I can enjoy without it feeling too corny. So, I don't know. I thought it was good from what you recommended. You sent us like the text about it, right? About that band?
Yeah.
Or was it? Okay, yeah. Then if that's the one I'm thinking about, then yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It's not like generic, and it's like reminiscent of OG thrash, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like don't know, it's closer to the metal than it is like the crossover thrash hardcore stuff like Power Trip or Iron Age or anything like that. So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So shout out Testament, shout out that boy Chuck. All right, next one I got on the list, that Trivium, man. Let's go into some metalcore, man. So Trivium. One thing I've grown to notice about music in general, along with other things in this world, is that change is inevitable. Okay. That being said, there's good change and there's bad change. Silverstein, I gotta say, not really good change. In my opinion, that's just my opinion, guys.
I agree.
But, you know, it's not, I'm not knocking them, not saying I hate them, still love them guys, but Trivium change, on the other hand, good change. Trivium change, good change. Trivium, they stick to their roots like nobody's business. They stick to their roots. They got their solos. They got their riffs. They're doing a lot more cleans. You know, Matt's doing a lot more cleans. But they're changing their style just a little bit. They're not making too big of changes. You know, this is, you know, kind of like along the lines of what was that one album, The Sin in the Sentence, one of the last ones that came out. And I love the change. You know, I love the changes that they're making, even though they're still sticking to their original selves. You know, it's good. I enjoyed it a lot. But now I will say this album, along with their most recent albums, they're good, but they're not ever going to be as good as like Shogun or Ascendancy, like their original stuff. You know, not saying that it's terrible. I'm just saying like it's not going to live up to that hype. But it's still enjoyable. It's still good to listen to. It's a little bit more radio friendly, so you know I think they get a lot more play. You know, on air. I don't really listen to the mainstream radio, but I'm sure they'll get a lot of play with these albums or with these songs that they have out. So that's what I have on it. Dan, if you want to go next.
I'm saying because I didn't listen to it all yet, but it's definitely Trivium. It has their signature sound, but it's modern. I like it from what I've heard so far. But yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those you hear like on Octane on repeat.
Octane for sure.
Yeah. So overall, it's not.
Go.
It's good. It's like I'm not like blown away by it, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Gabe? You check it out?
Yeah, I give it like a 7 out of 10. I think it's good. It's like you said. But I think the main thing that a lot of bands are doing nowadays is just doing stuff that it's still them, but stuff they're more comfortable with. So it's I don't know how to describe it beyond that. It's just they're comfortable with it. It's a good sound. It's definitely a little bit more radio friendly, like you said.
Right.
So I feel like I'm not going to say that they're going to be like a Hot Topic band or anything like that. But, you know, I think they're going to get a bigger fan base from having a more appealing sound. You know, like they're not this like straight up tough guy stuff, and they're not like really Vans Warped Tour stuff either. So, you know, I don't know. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, definitely. And this is their latest release. I mean, I think it's been over 2 years since they've released an album. So they're definitely due for one. And this was a good follow-up for their last one. You know, again, they're keeping their sound pretty consistent with the changes that they've made. So it's good change, like I said. Let's go ahead and mix it up a little bit. Let's talk about some End, Gabe. I checked it out. I checked out the track, but I want to hear your opinion or your thoughts on the latest End single.
So Covet Not. I love just how dark and atmospheric it is, honestly. I don't know if they're gonna do a music video for this one like they did the last one, but it's just like it's really, really cool to kind of hear like a hardcore / metalcore super group come together, and then like they're just dropping all of this stuff during the quarantine because they're like, you know, we have fans for all the bands that we originally come from that y'all fuck with, so like here's something that we had planned but we didn't release it just yet, and now that they are releasing it, it's amazing, you know. And they sold out of the pre-orders for that vinyl so fast that they had to do a second pressing of it already. You know, and that's just the pre-orders. So in last I checked on the pre-orders, I think that there's like less than 100 left for the second pressing. So that was like all together. So I mean, I think that's really, really, really badass. And then also how, on a side note, Rotting Out also put out that other album, Ronin, and that was just fucking fantastic. Like I loved every song from start to end on that as well. So.
I agree, definitely. Yeah, that new anthem single was definitely a good follow up from Pariah. I'm really looking forward to see what is it, an EP or album that's going to be coming out?
It's going to be it's a full length. I think it has 7 or 8 songs on it. If I'm not mistaken. So.
Right. Yeah. No, the end. Yeah, definitely a kick-ass group. Let alone the single was badass as well. Yeah, so hopefully they release a music video. Hopefully they keep that going, but due to everything going on, I kind of doubt it, which isn't a bad thing. So, did you check it out, Dan? Mose?
Actually, I did. I was just putting it on. I was like, I fuck with it. I was like, as I was just drawn away, I was just listening to those 2 songs on repeat that they had. I really liked it. So I can't wait to see the new music once they start to release it. So I'm excited.
Sure.
And that's another really cool thing about it is that like you can play that song in either order. Like you can play Covet Not or Pariah then Covet Not, and they just like seamlessly fade into each other, and it's so good. It's so fucking cohesive, and it's like. And another thing that's really great about it is that it's atmospheric. It's not just sitting there and just being like, oh, gotta sound tough, and be like the next like craziest breakdowns. Like, no, the whole fucking experience for both of the songs is just great all the way through. And I know people who don't even like hardcore or metalcore that are like, yo, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, super group making super group moves, so that's always good. Let's go ahead and let's talk about. I haven't checked it out yet. I love Soul Keeper. I haven't checked out the new single though. Gotta admit. I'm gonna go ahead and hand that over to Gabe. Talk to us, baby.
Super mathy. Honestly, I really, really like that a whole bunch of these metalcore bands are not afraid to do kind of like the weirdo metalcore. It's by no means like anything like melodic or like Warped Tour style. It's definitely more hardcore oriented, but like the sound sampling in it is fantastic. The way they kind of throw the electronic choppiness in it, like Dealer does.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound tacky either. And I'll go grab the shirt here in a second. But they had to cancel their tour, and we were supposedly, I don't know, but from what I talked with one of the guys from Departure, we were supposed to do a show with Soul Keeper here in Texas, and since their tour got canceled, they're just like, you know what, screw it, we're gonna keep pushing all the rest of the music that we had out, and then we're just gonna sell all of our tour merch online and just make it like our online store, so that when the tour does come around, whatever we have left, we'll take it with us.
Gotcha. That's fun.
Yeah, and I mean they're super nice people. They're really responsive, and they are like, a lot of people don't really associate them with hardcore, but I mean that, like, you hear that and it's like undeniably a mathcore band, and you're just like, holy shit, from start to end. The vocals in it are even crazier than in Gorgeous, which is the last single that they released. So I don't know, it's just fucking, it's like chaotic, mathy. It's beautiful all around. If you're a fan of Binary or See You Space Cowboy, Wrist Meat Razor, Dealer, Deadmau5, any of those bands, I think it's a good amalgamation of kind of like somewhat emo. It's like an emo feeling, but with like a mathy sound.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good way to put it. Yeah, sick. I'm definitely gonna check it out after this for sure. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into I want to give a shout out real quick to Meridian. The guys in Meridian, they dropped a new album. I believe it was No Last Call. Definitely a kick-ass album. Just your good old-fashioned, is metal. It's metal AF. I really love that song. What is it? I forget the numbers. I get the numbers mixed up. But it's a police code.
That's
about about what I think it's like a suicide in progress or something like that, right? If I'm not mistaken. Anyways, 1056 in progress. That one, 1056 in progress. Killer song. I remember we saw them. Was at the No Home, right?
Yeah, No
Home. The No Home and dang, shout out No Home. What was that other band, dude?
But they're really good.
Oh, I feel bad. No Home.
Didn't they play with October Roar? It was like No Home, October Roar, and Meridian. Was that it?
No.
October Roar wasn't on that bill.
Yeah. Dang it, dude. I'm looking it up.
They're
Anyways, we heard that song first. They played it at that show, and I was hooked. I was like, dude, y'all got to drop this as soon as possible. And it was our first time playing that song, actually. So big ups to them. And that was a sick album or EP, however you want to call it. It's pretty short, but it gets their point across. So I'm looking up that band right now, dude. Like, as soon as I see it, Farewell.
Yeah. There you go.
Shout out Farewell. Shout out No Home. But yeah, definitely check out Meridian out of San Antonio, Texas. Their latest album, No Last Call. Next, let's touch on. I think this is going to be the last one that we talk about for now. And then we'll go on to our next topics. August Burns Red. I can't get enough of August Burns Red, man. They're always gonna have a special place in my heart. Ever since I found them, I think it was during their Messengers album, and ever since then I was hooked. Each release that they've released since then has never disappointed, in my opinion. They still like to stick to their usual sound. They have their breakdowns. They're super technical, especially in this album. This album is really technical, and it's very pleasing to the ears. I can't get enough. I can honestly listen to this album on repeat. So I definitely recommend checking out Guardians. One thing I would say before I pass it on is August Burns Red. I was looking them up, like as far as like Billboard goes, things like that. All that BS. And they're always listed underneath the Christian rock category. And the thing is,
so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. But at the time when I found them, my friend, I used to play baseball with him growing up, and he listened. He got me hooked on August Burns Red. He's a huge Christian guy, and he was like, "Yeah, these guys are super good. They're Christian." I believe at the time when that album was out, they were super hardcore Christian. They had that song on that album. What is it? Dang, I forgot. But it's talking about like I'm just a man with a heart in sinful hands. I am the fallen victim. I'm looking it up right now. Anyway, so redemption. So obviously that song got mad Jesus vibes, and it's not a bad thing. But the thing about August Burns Red is over the years they've kind of they haven't shied away from trying to spread a positive message in their music. And their music is, if you're a Christian, you can take it as it is, and you can make it be that way. But even if you're not very religious, you can still get down to August Burns Red and still have that message portrayed, and still get positivity from it, which I love. You know what I'm saying? And in a recent interview, J.B. Brubaker, he was talking about it. He's one of the guitarists. He was saying growing up, he was a huge Christian, went to church every Sunday, but since then he's shied away from it. But he doesn't necessarily not believe, but he uses those principles that he was brought up with, and still uses them today. Not too sure on what his belief system is, but to say that is, it's very strong because it just goes to show that he still has some kind of faith. Not only that, but he can still, take what he learned and not completely shy away from it, if you can see where I'm coming from. It's super weird because I think a few of the guys in the band are still, hardcore Christians. Big ups to them. And then there's, the other two, they're not really label themselves that way, but it's just weird to see them labeled with bands like Skillet, which are super hardcore Christian bands. And they still get that praise within that scene. So this album actually topped #1 in the Christian rock charts, above Skillet. So big ups to them for that. But I just wanted to throw that out there, just as far as like their, how you classify them. But I definitely recommend checking out Guardians. Super sick album. Bones, that music video was tight. But yeah, did you check it out, Mose?
Yeah, it's definitely probably one of my favorite August albums so far. Ooh. I kind of honestly, it's so funny that you brought up Old Christian, because I got into them when I was like super for Jesus and out of college, so I got into like big into them and like For Today and things like that, which
a whole
different story. But no, I was like, I honestly enjoy it. I've been listening to them since Thrill Seeker, and I know, I like it. It's kind of like I've been saying lately with the streaming. It has that modern feel to it, but it's still their classic sound. Right. And with August Burns Red, it's something I can shake my ass to,
Shake them buns, bro.
So I enjoy it. I give it out of 10. I give it 7.5.
Nice. What about you, Gabe? Did you check it out any or no?
Yeah, I did. To be completely honest, I kind of keep them in the same boat as bands like Memphis Mayfire and stuff like that. That's the more Christian post-hardcore. Don't get me wrong, it's still very well written. It's not my cup of tea whatsoever.
Respectable.
But I just remember that band being a thing when I was in high school, and everybody was like, "Oh, August Burns Red," blah blah blah, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool," like ABR or whatever. Yeah. And then like for it to be 2020 and people are still talking about August Burns Red and they're still putting out music and like they're still successful and they still have a wide audience and they're still like positive, I think that's incredible. Like from a business standpoint, a religious standpoint, that's just that's cool. And they're not like, you don't really see them doing like the in-your-face Christian thing either, kind of like how Matty Mullins did with Memphis Mayfire, and how he was like, "Oh, I'm the voice of a generation," and I'm sorry, but like, and my friends can count on me for this, but like that song "Personality Cult" by Issues that starts with like "Fuck the voice of a generation. I just want to be who I am." Like, like I think everybody finds
the McKenty video.
No, haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it talks about the most hated bands.
Oh, for real?
But I kind of loop it in with that I think it's cool that there's a band that's willing to stand by their beliefs and talk about the stuff that they are passionate about, but without being condescending or without being in your face.
Too pushy, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, that's a good thing too. I mean, a lot of Christian bands not knocking it whenever they preach on stage, but you got to think of the people that really go to the shows. They can really get rubbed the wrong way with that. Of course, they'll have the fans that appreciate it, and like I said, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. My thing is just to kind of think about I guess the scene that you're in and the environment that you're in. But if you do that, cool, big ups to you. Just
hey, we got like 30 seconds before the first timer ends.
All right, bet. I'm about to cut it right now, so we'll be back here momentarily. All right, we back. So we're talking about new music. Now let's go ahead and excuse me. I wanted to touch on just the pandemic, everything that's going on right now. and how a lot of these bands are affected still. Over the past month, hasn't really gotten that much better, but I wanted to say like how noble it is for these bands releasing their albums during this crisis. I know August Burns Red has not taken a hit, but they haven't sold as many records or had a lot of activity like they did with their last album, the album before this one. And then Testament as well. They're not really pushing that much as far as like discs go, vinyls go. It's hard out here, man. People, losing their jobs and, they don't got that extra funds to actually support these bands. So it's tough. But yeah, I just wanted to say a huge shout out to those guys and everybody else who continues to put out that new during this time. So another thing I wanted to get your guys' opinion on is these shows, man. These shows ain't gonna be coming back till like next year. There's a year full of kick-ass shows that
that's
we're
what
gonna
they
miss
say.
out on.
I think it's gonna be back later this year.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah. So I mean,
lay it on
like
me.
there's two festivals that I was supposed to perform in, and they were both late May. So far, and then we also had another one that was like mid-May, or actually no, June. My bad. So we had two in late May and one in June. And all three of those haven't been canceled yet. Honestly, we just kind of have our ear out. Like I'm checking with the promoter like once every week or so, just to see what's up. But I mean, Binary's tour got canceled, and that was supposed to be a huge fucking tour. That just it's absolute cat shit. But they're saying like for at least me and the guys from Departure and stuff like that, we were supposed to do like a tour together that was supposed to go like out of the state and like up into like the East Coast and then back down. And from what I understand, the earliest we can plan on doing that is the winter. So I think it's kind of shitty, but at the same time, fingers crossed all this shit will be done. Especially here in Texas, because I think with the heat and from what they said about the virus being so unstable that it can't tolerate heat, that hopefully everything will be done by May. But at the same time, I don't know if you've noticed, but like there's all the pollution is clearing up in the water. Like the channels in Venice are clean. Dolphins are going back into them. In Delhi, in India, you can actually see the arch there, and the streets are clear, which is crazy because it hasn't been like that since like the 1800s. It's just a lot of stuff is clearing up, and the weather outside has been extremely nice since we cut back on all this production. Like all the mass manufacturing and stuff. I mean, it's late April, almost May now. And look how nice it is outside. I can go outside and not be sweating a ridiculous amount. It's nice and windy. The air isn't hot. It's not sticky. So I think that hopefully with us shutting everything down and the climate kind of resetting a little bit and whatnot, hopefully it'll look better for everybody, not just bands. By the summer, because like y'all were talking about with August Burns Red, we came as Romans to Plant to Seed 10-year anniversary tour. They played like 2 shows before they had to stop it, and everything is being pushed back right now with them until I think October. So it's just fingers crossed.
Hey, you still got your ticket though, so whenever that comes rolling around, shoot, go hit that up, man.
Should be good.
But yeah, I mean, I hope everything is back up and running at that time. You know what I'm saying? But only time will tell. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's kind of hard to tell, and it's kind of sucks because I want to see Slipknot, Code Orange, A Day to Remember. Like that show would have been sick.
They haven't even announced anything about that yet.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like I feel like they're probably gonna cancel it. Like I'm already leaning towards it. And the reason why is I just feel like
Stop being a pessimist, bro.
No, just so like if it does happen, then it's like, all right, badass. But if it doesn't, I'm like, all right, well, I kind of saw it coming. But and then that Trivium and who else was it on that bill? It was crazy. It was Trivium. I know Megadeth was headlining, but I probably would have left after Trivium played. That was a big show. August Burns Red and Kill Switch. No, it was August Burns Red and Silverstein.
Happened like right before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Polaris supposed to be on some big tour right now too?
I think so. Yeah, there's a lot of bands, man. Carnifex, like I told you guys in the chat, lost out on $250K for their headlining tour. So it's like, damn. That's tough.
A lot of, but that, I'm not trying to shoot down Carnifex, but that happened to a fuck ton of bands, like.
No, yeah.
Like, think about what happened to Acacia Strain. Like, I'm not the world's biggest Acacia Strain fan, but like how the Acacia Strain Rotting Out tour got shut down as soon as they got to California. Like, literally, they played one show in California, and all the other bands were like, "Hey, we're not comfortable doing this." So it was only like Acacia Strain and Chamber playing with, I think, like a couple locals. Mm-hmm. So all these bands are having to convert their tour merch into online merch to try to like cover some of the loss that they made, or some of the loss that they suffered rather, because of everything being cut short. And it's horrible, but at the same time, like now's a great time to where if you've never been able to afford band merch before, so many of these bands that did have a canceled tour that are selling their tour merch are doing it for 1% off,
Right.
Just saying. So.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's all I was trying to bring up is like, Carnifex is one of the many bands. All these bands, they get paid X amount of money to go perform on these, these tours, especially headlining tours where they get, a lot of money, and it sucks. But at the same time, those guys, along with other bands, they got to be smart with how they handle it. Which a lot, like you were saying, a lot of bands are doing their tour merch online, to try to get some money, which is good. Not only that, but if you got albums or vinyls, try to get them, like we keep saying from our last podcast, to try to help these guys out during this time. So it's hard out here for a pimp, man.
Trying to get that money from.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to these guys still trying to make it during this time, dude. That one tour I was just saying, it was August Burns Red and it was August Burns Red, Kill Switch, and Light the Torch, Howard Jones' new band. That show or that tour was one I was looking forward to the most, because to see, maybe, I don't know if this was confirmed, but maybe have Howard come on set, do a Kill Switch song with Jesse. That would have been,
they probably would at least do Signal Flame together, because they have
Signal Fire, dude.
Yeah,
that would have been crazy. But just to see Howard live, because I never got the chance to experience Howard Jones live, like I have Jesse. It would have been a dream come true. But not only that, but to see Howard would Light the Torch, all of Kill Switch, and August Burns Red all in one night. Busted so many nuts, dude. It's crazy.
Damn, Gabe, your hair is getting long.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, mine's the opposite. Your boy done cut his hair.
I'm shaving the sides of it. But...
Oh, that's tight. Show yours, Dan.
Nah, mine's
Show
shit.
the fans your locks, dude.
Mine's shit. There. That's all you get.
Your little bang.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So this pandemic, something else. But just from the words of the Ghost Inside, triumph over tragedy.
Hell yeah.
That's the words to live by during this time. We're all in this together, and we're all gonna come out on top. It's sad about all the lives being lost, and it's unfortunate. But at the same time, we just have to keep moving forward and, really, really do all we can to stay inside, wear your mask, wash your damn hands.
Never.
Never. Wash your hands.
I don't know if y'all have had anybody that's been like directly affected by this thing in like your immediate family or like friend group or anything like that. But like, so I put it up a while ago and I took it down just because I got tired of like people asking questions and then my family saying one thing and then, it's kind of like contradictory information that I was getting. But like I have a cousin who got sick with something and the doctor this is before the COVID test kits were available here. The doctor was just like, hey, just go home and quarantine, and she ended up dying, dude. Like she died last week and people were, my family's still confused. We're like, what the fuck killed her? Because she woke up that morning, she was texting us and she was talking to people and then she's like, I want to go take a nap. And then next thing you know, a couple hours later, we get a call saying, hey, she passed away in her bedroom. And we're like, what the fuck? So from what I understand, she got misdiagnosed with something and it ended up getting to the point where it just like randomly killed her. It wasn't COVID, but a lot of people are scared right now. Like I think the Callisto Polarize, they're like a kind of pop punky band from Austin. Like one of the band members partners has COVID right now, and I know that's fucking everything up for them because they were supposed to be working on releasing new music and recording during this time, but instead that specific band member and their partner have been in quarantine for over 30 days now. So and they were wiping down their groceries and only brought grocery bags from home. So if that's the circumstance,
right?
I don't know. It's just weird times.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear about that, man. It's tough. That's sad, and a lot of people are affected by it. And best thing to do is just stay at home as best as you can. Only really go out if you have to. So just take a lot of precautions and make sure you're washing your hands, Moses. Like I know you don't wash your hands a lot, so no, I'm just kidding. You still there?
I think he froze.
Oh.
No, he's responding.
I was just looking at you.
Yeah, he was just like, he's like, you can't tell me what to do.
Exactly. You're not my dad.
You're not my dad. You're not my dad.
I'm your dad.
Well,
get it right.
Speaking of dads, congratulations, John.
Dang.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we saw that video. That was really cute.
I hate you, dude. I hate you.
You're about to cry. What a little punk.
What you mean, dude? It's an exciting time,
I'm going to have a
man.
baby. I'm going to cry.
Wow. One of these days you're going to experience it. You're gonna be like,
Never. Wrap it up.
Nah. No way, man. Twinkies all day. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, right.
Oh, my God.
No, but appreciate you guys, man. It's an exciting time. And, we'll see how it goes. We're going to have two.
Pull up for the names.
Oh, yeah, right. Shoot some names, man. Appreciate it, John Madrano. Shout out, dude. Send some names, man, and I'll observe them and be like, all right, yeah, nah, yeah, or whatever. So we don't know what it is yet. Probably within the next few weeks we'll actually find out what the gender is. So due to everything going on, we'll probably just stream it on my personal page and
cool.
just to reveal it. So. And we'll keep you guys posted on it. But appreciate you guys. Your boy gonna be a dad again. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, my friend.
So what are you hoping for? You hoping for a boy or a girl?
Boy, dog. What you mean?
You want a boy? Yeah.
Boy all day. But if I get a girl, I mean that'd be pretty cool too. You know, be a girl dad. But I want my son. But
You need a boy, kid. At least have a man in the house because they're one down.
I hate you, dude.
Oh my God, y'all are so mean.
I know he's mean.
It's out of love. It's out of love.
He's mean. But now, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, my friend was like, dude, you having another kid? I was like, yeah. He was like, dude, you're a father now. Like before you were a dad because you got a kid. Well, you got more than one kid, you're a father. Like you're an actual father. I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So yeah, it's an exciting time. So we'll see how it goes. Anything else y'all want to
Name him
touch
COVID
on?
with the K.
What?
COVID Zapata.
Covita.
Covita Zapata all day, dude. But yeah, what else you guys want to touch on before we dip?
Did y'all have like anything like really positive? Like, I don't know, let's just try to end it on a happy note, you know, like anything positive happened for y'all despite the circumstances of this?
The most positive thing that I've experienced, and I'm sure I could probably speak for Moses with this on as well. The ghost inside, dude, like that's probably probably the most positive thing I've experienced in the last couple of days is just seeing that video and just seeing, you know, that they're just going to rise above it all. It's very inspiring, not only for me, but I'm sure a lot of people, they could really use that inspiration in their personal lives. And because like I said before at the beginning, it's a tough time right now. And the only thing we could do is, you know, think positive and have a positive outlook on things, regardless of the amount of lives that are being, you know, lost due to it. But, you know, we just got to do the best we can. Like I keep saying, stay inside, stay at home. Don't be going partying, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's probably the most positive thing I've experienced in the last couple of days. So huge ups to the Ghost Inside Aftermath all day. What about you, Mose?
Actually, a few different positive things happened for me. Actually, today, this morning, I got to celebrate with my brother, who I live with, getting his master's degree. So that was cool.
Dang.
We're doing the whole like
cool.
live
What a
thing.
nerd. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he is a nerd, but I'm super proud of him. So he helps me keep the dream alive because he never gives up. So it makes me want to give up. So just be able to see that, be there with him, and this even though it's not at a stadium or like with a lot of people, just having that moment, it was really nice this morning. So that was cool.
That's sick. But, you know, that's such a great thing. It's a big family achievement, you know?
Yeah, a master's degree, a whole master's degree.
Yeah, he's like one of the only people in my family I can name offhand that's gotten that far, and I can't even pass 1 hour of college. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
It's not for everybody.
It's not, definitely not. But I am proud of him. It was a good thing to celebrate today. Then I'm finally about to start my art streaming, do my doodles on
about time.
People to chat with me and whatnot. Do that, maybe get some stickers and merch going. We'll see.
What are you doing that on?
I'll be streaming on Twitch under my moniker Mo Sanchez. Probably get that up this coming week. Got all my gear in, so we'll see how that goes. And then also just the new friends. I was working at the office. I made a new friend. Got into some new music. So I got in actually some goth culture type music. And it's been very interesting. So
like what? Tell us about that.
Just opening my horizons of music genres just completely. So I'm like, there's some pretty interesting stuff still out there that doesn't have to make me want to, you know, beat somebody up. So it's kind of cool. So
that's cool.
Those are positive things that happened to me lately. So.
You be on that Ghost now?
Ghost was one of them, but I've already known of them at least a little bit. But some bands I've never heard of with weird ass names, but I'm like, I dig it.
Yeah, right. They got them super goth names.
Yeah,
they're like Coffin Club or
so pretty much
whatever. But you know, no knock to them. You got to hit us up with that, man. You're gonna be the mastermind on that. Send us some suggestions.
Yeah, so
check out Bat City Underworld. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and also, John, I forgot to tell you just one that new work. She also knows that one guy that we had the interview with from Hurt People. I was like, it's a
Oh,
small world.
that boy Sterling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sterling. Dude, shout out Sterling. Shout out Hurt People, Hurt People. Shout out Ian Seth.
And so I was
Shout
like,
out.
hey, it's crazy how it's all connected.
Yeah, right. Shout out Jonah. He's also with From Graves out of San Antonio. And who else is in that band? I forgot. If I forgot your name,
I'm
shout
saying
out
two
to the
people
band
from Graves.
There's Jonah and no, I think it's just that one. Or is it two? I don't know. Shout out Hurt People, Hurt People. All right, Gabe, what about you, man?
So I actually just had my 4-year marriage anniversary with my wife.
Nice.
July we'll be together 5 years. So that was really, it's really crazy. I'm 25 and I've been with my wife for 5 years. So
that's
a lot of people, a lot of people I know that are still involved mainly with music stuff aren't even thinking about marriage at this point. So, I think it's cool that, I got this new apartment. I got, private parking downstairs. I got an elevator in the building. It's in like a gated community. I'm married. My wife is working for the same security company as me now. That's a new thing that happened since the last podcast. The ice cream place furloughed her. So I put in a word with my management team after she applied, because they interviewed her 3 times without giving her a job, which I thought was weird. And then finally they called her a 4th time and they're like, actually, hey, come work for us now. She's not making as much as I am, but her checks are still clearing over $1,000 each. So
dang,
that's pretty cool.
Big ballers.
Yeah, and we finally fixed our taxes with the IRS. So my tax return when it comes in this year is going to be $3.7K. And not including the stimulus checks, because me and my wife still haven't gotten our stimulus checks. And then I'm also getting my retirement pay on top of my paycheck. Dang. So, I mean, we're...
let me hold a couple dollars, dude.
Up and up.
How about Tree Fitty?
I'm going to come to you for that financial relief loan.
For real. Let me get an SBA loan, dog.
But, it's just it's nice. For me, at least, because even with all this crap going on, my hours have gone up. So, I'm still working and I'm still dealing with a lot of stupid people because, a lot of extra precautions have been put in place in the workplace that are done, but whatever. But another positive thing that happened to me, it's actually 2 positive things. I'm going to put them together. So there's this app called Depop that's secondhand merch. So people that buy merch and then they're like, I'm tired of it. And then they put it back up for sale on this app. And it's mainly for more eclectic stuff. So it's going to be band merch and then vintage wear and stuff like that. And so the first person I connected with was Jake Zimmett from this band called Caged Existence. And I was buying a long sleeve Antagonist AD shirt off of him that is no longer in production. And I was like, yo, my wife really wanted this shirt and we didn't get it at the time because it was too expensive, but you're selling it for real cheap. I'll grab this off of you. He's like, all right, cool, man. Blah, blah, blah. Here's my info. So I go to pay him for it and it said you paid Caged Existence, $20 or whatever the hell. And I was like, yo, wait, what? You're in Caged Existence? I've been trying to get y'all's merch for over a year now. What the fuck? Right. And he's like, oh, dude, what? Okay, yeah. And then we ended up becoming friends and talking to each other on Instagram for a couple days straight. And Caged Existence unfortunately broke up, but he's sending me free Caged Existence merch on top of the Antagonist AD shirt that I bought from him. I sent him my band stuff and he really fucked with it. So that was really cool. And then we got to talk about how we both have how we're both kind of friends with the vocalist of Antagonist AD. And it was really cool. And then another thing that happened is, so I had this white Kubla Khan shirt that I got autographed but when they did that Despised Icon tour and I wore the shirt there like a simp, I got kicked in the ribs. I got mule kicked in the ribs during the Kubla Khan set. and the dude like left a boot print on my ribs, and I washed the shirt. The autograph stayed, thankfully, but so did the boot print.
Dang.
So unfortunately, that shirt's kind of fucked up. But I found it on Depop, and I went to talk to the guy and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this shirt off you," and his name seemed real familiar, and he had a lot of Burials merch on his page, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, either this dude's just obsessed with it or something. And then when it showed his like full name to me, Mike Foley, and I was like, wait a second. And then like I looked at I found him on Facebook, and sure enough, that's the lead guitarist of Burials. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is the second time in a week that, you know, Depop has put me in touch with an artist that I fuck with. So you know, and like I'm directly talking with them, so you know, it's cool. I don't know, I just thought that was two really small things that just kind of made my week, that I was like, yo, that's so ridiculous that that happened. So
that's pretty sick though, man. Hey, I'm a 2X, so if they giving out free merch, dude, hook me up with some. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if he sends me some, he said he was gonna send me some stuff, so if any of it's too big for me, you know. Speaking of which, do one of y'all want my Deadmau5 hat? Because I got too many hats right now.
Damn.
So okay, Danny, you want it? Okay,
yeah.
You can have it.
It's a dad hat, huh?
Yeah, it's like one of those soft like dad hat metalcore hats.
Yeah. I'm a fitted, man. I gotta get my fitted on.
I need to give me some Belligerents merch. Gave me a hit for that.
Yeah. We got small through extra large right now on our first run. Our next run our next run that we're doing, we're gonna do, I think we're gonna do small through 2X, and we're gonna be doing like a Trailer Park Boys ripoff.
Trailer Park Boys.
We're gonna have a thing of Bubbles, like, you know, but he's gonna have like over his eyes. Yeah. And it's gonna say like dirty old sassy metalcore on it.
Oh, I see you.
Yeah. So yeah, because we're gonna be using some Trailer Park Boys sound clips for the full length. So
breakdowns.
Yeah. And it's with decent, and then it's just gonna go into some stuff. It's gonna be cool. Y'all are gonna like it. Nice. But yeah, we have more stuff coming on the way. But but we're gonna release all that other merch once the full length is done. So for right now, we just have the first shirts. They're the steel gray with the white logo on it. So
sick. Nice. But yeah, man. One last thing. A positive. Met up with my parents today.
How's Veronica?
Met up with my parents today, and
how's Veronica?
My mom is good. Oh, dang.
Thanks.
We'll be ending in 10 minutes. Don't upgrade. All right, we're about to wrap this up, but met up with them in Round Rock, and they got us some stuff, you know, some essential stuff from the store. Got some eggs, milk, all that good stuff, and yeah, it was good to see them after so long. You know, I FaceTimed them a lot, but it was good to see them, and they got to see Ella even though she was asleep. But big shout out to my parents for coming through for us during this time, and yeah, shout out to Mama Bear Brittany for carrying our upcoming, hopefully son, but our upcoming child. So we'll see how that goes. Y'all send me some names though, for real, and we'll go over them and we'll see. Be like,
Cornelius.
Oh, good. Cornelius? No, I'm naming Danny. It's the boy I'm naming Danny.
Oh.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
I'm gonna do it.
All Danny's are fuck ups.
No, they're not. Not all of them. Not you, Danny, but yeah. So shout out to my growing family. Shout out to my parents, and yeah. Y'all be sure to follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And, follow Moses' Twitch. Well, follow him on social media, and then you'll be, you know, in the know.
You'll see the Switch stuff eventually.
Yeah. I'm going to share.
Twitch.
Yeah. We're going to share the S out of it. So big ups to Moses and his art. And You got any prints, Moses, or no?
Working on some, actually working on some. So
You are?
we'll see. That's another thing. Shout out if you want to support your artists. I mean, they have nothing else to do on their time. Hit them up for some commission work. That's definitely going to help them out.
Yeah.
Commission work, prints, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, shout out to everybody making it during this pandemic. And it's all uphill from here, man. We're going to make it. Everybody's going to triumph over this, triumph over tragedy, the ghost inside. That's like my favorite quote now. But yeah, we're all in this together. We'll get through it just one day at a time. So,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
We should have like an ending card where we're all in this together from High School Musical.
Right. We should like Flash Dance.
No, that died. That died in 2014. Let's leave it there.
Right.
Harlem Shake It.
Yeah. So that's all we got for today's episode. Go ahead and check out the music we talked about. And let us know some releases you want us to talk about next episode. Or hit us up with some questions. I know this is live, so it's going to be on our Facebook page. Any questions you guys have for us, we'll throw them in our next episode. And
like, why is John so cute? That's what I want to know.
Like, seriously, like, let's just, let's just try doing a Q&A and see what people have to say.
Next podcast Q&A official.
Like, ask us whatever you want, and we'll go at it. And we won't be mean to each other.
Yeah,
ask
right.
us honest questions.
Right. But yeah, nice
Danny,
questions.
don't pick on John.
Yeah, right.
I won't. No fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. You crossing your toes? Nah, just kidding. But yeah. So next podcast Q&A style. We'll get the crowd, the audience involved. Hopefully, we get a lot of questions. If not, we'll make the best of it. But yeah, any songs or anything you guys want us to check out, definitely link it below, so that way everybody can see it as well. And I've been low key thinking about doing some reaction videos. Maybe having like a stream just set for, me just browsing YouTube and, listening to music. And
do you accept tips on this stream for certain favors?
Negative. And so I've been thinking about it. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. Or if you want me to react to one of your videos that you've put out in the past that I haven't checked out, definitely, hit us up, DM us, follow us. We're all at The Devil's Mic on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And that's all we got for today's episode. We'll end it like that. All right. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
As fuck.
Yeah.
Let me get on.
Set it up.